to Real Estate with Gema Smith. I am your host, Gema Smith with Compass, and we are continuing on in our video series on estate planning, and specifically in this segmentation, we are discussing geriatric care management. And with us is our wonderful co-host, Dedra. Welcome,
Thank you
Dedra.
very much. Thank you very much, Gemma. Appreciate being here.
And for those who just joined us today and missed the other segments, briefly just talk about yourself again, just so folks could know who you are and welcome them into, their virtual world as I have.
Yes. So, yes, I've been working as a geriatric care manager here at the law office of Litherland, Kennedy & Associates for about 8 years. And prior to that, I did work as an occupational therapist over at Good Samaritan Hospital. And also have had experience working in an adult day program for those with dementia diagnosis.
Thank you so much. And again, welcome. And you folks, you better hold on to your seat because Dedra has so much to share. And in this segmentation, we are going to discuss life care planning services. Tell us, what does that all mean?
So life care planning is what people are doing to, quote, get their ducks in a row. And it's something that often people think about more when they reach retirement age, because it's going to encompass the psychological, social, health, financial, medical. We address all aspects as well as the legal, because what happens is that when people don't have all their ducks in a row, and then the adult child calls and says, hey, mom's in the hospital and I can't, the doctor's not talking to me. Why not? Well, your parent missed one of the ducks, and that's impacting their care and making it hard for you as a child.
Exactly. And what other scenarios come into play in regards to that life care planning besides the, what other ducks in the row do they need to put into place?
So, for every individual, it's different as to what may be lacking in their scenario, because what people are, maybe thinking about is for their life care plan, they're thinking, well, I plan on moving, plan on my daughter renting the house, I plan on living off of such and such. And then we look at all that and we look at your finances. And is that really feasible? And tax consequences, not that I'm a tax advisor, but I can kind of look at capital gain and different things as to whether that is feasible. And of course, as you know, with Prop 19, maybe daughter, once you pass away and renting the house is not going to be a thing she's going to do. There's just, it's so encompassing, but foundational legal documents so that your agent can help you in whatever may come down the path for you.
And how soon would you recommend anyone to start a life estate planning?
It's really funny. I talked to my brother, and he's back east, and I said, yeah, do you have an estate plan? He says, well, no, I'm not old enough yet. I'm like, what does that mean? So, essentially, if you own property, real estate, if you have children, so if you've got a little baby, you need an estate plan to help care for that child should something happen to you. And then everyone else, you need something, because even our basic plan for those children who turn 18 and heading off to college, they need a healthcare power of attorney. What happens if something happens medically and you're the parent calling the hospital, like, what happened to my son or daughter? Well, sorry, we can't talk to you. Your child's over 18.
Exactly. I think one of the things we had discussed in one of the last segments was the sandwich generation. So I'm in that, category. We have elderly parents and we have adult children who just graduated out of college and in their career. And then 5 years ago, Dad approached us and said, I need help. And at that point, that's where we became that sandwich generation. But Dad had already with us done some of the pre-planning, and he had his estate in place, the trust and everything else, and the directives and the health directives and his wishes and everything else. And it was an easier transition because dad, when the minute he said he needed help, it was a decline from that point. It was a rapid decline. And both of them, both mom and dad, became ill at the same time. Dad just recently passed, but mom is still alive with us, but she's hospice, and she's also very much and just wanting to oblige to their wishes and their concerns, and one of them was to age in place. And that is a very, it's a life changing, you have to make real, difficult decisions to reach that agreement with them to say, okay, how can it happen? And so the whole modification of the home, and we'll be discussing in the next segmentation as well, some issues in regards to Alzheimer's and the hospice care and the nursing home planning, and, discussing the different options that folks have at that time. But it was the fact that dad had, the foundation in place that allowed us to be able to better facilitate their wishes as they became the progression of their illness happen.
And personally that is such a stressful time for the adult child.
Mm-hmm.
And to have to not only in the midst of all that stress, or maybe there's even medical emergencies during all that, to have to figure out the legal part of it, how to get access to be able to pay the bills, when those things are not all placed out originally, it's just another layer of stress for the family.
Exactly. And it's individuals like yourself who are able to step into those shoes and be able to assist and help and those either the adult children or the parents themselves as they come to their destination where they want to end up at. So I thank you so much that there are resources out there, and Dedra, you are one of those resources, and I want to share with our community that your services. So if you have not registered to receive our newsletter and our ongoing information, especially not just on the state planning, but overall, and especially in this specific issues regarding the aging in place and geriatric care management, then I invite you to register for our newsletter to be able to get all the top information and access to all of our resources as well. So again, Dedra, I want to thank you so much for joining us. And again, I'll provide your information for those who want to reach out to you as well.
Thank you, Gemma. My pleasure.
Not a problem. As always, continue to stay with us in our next segmentation. We have another fabulous segment coming up, so you don't want to miss it. Register today. Stay tuned with us. And as always, continue to stay safe and healthy. This is Gema Smith, All Things Real Estate. Thank you for joining us, and look forward to seeing you in our next segment.